So, you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, and maybe you've had that thought, am I stuck with this thing forever? It's a super common question, right? Well, today we're going to break down exactly when you can make a change. We want you to feel totally in control of your coverage. Okay, so let's paint a picture here. It's a situation a lot of folks run into. You did your research, you picked a plan, but now, oops, your favorite doctor is suddenly out of network, or that new prescription you need, not covered. It is so frustrating. But here's the good news. You are not stuck. There are specific times when you can switch things up, and we're going to walk through every single one of them. All right, to make this whole thing super simple, here's our game plan. First, we'll touch on the basic choices you're making. Then we'll dive right into those 4 key times you can switch things up and take control. All right, let's get into it. Section 1, Medicare Advantage, your choice. Before we can talk about when you can switch, we really got to get a handle on what you're choosing between. It all starts with this one big decision, right? The 2 main roads you can take for Medicare. So, on one hand, you've got Original Medicare. That's the classic, government-run program. On the other hand, you have these Medicare Advantage plans. Think of them like a bundle deal from a private company. They roll everything into one package. But, and this is a big but, there's a trade-off. With Advantage plans, you're usually working with a specific network of doctors. The upside? You might get lower costs and some cool extra benefits. And here's the thing, Medicare Advantage isn't just one size fits all. No way. You've got different flavors like HMOs and PPOs. So an HMO, that might mean lower monthly payments, but you got to stick with their doctors and get a referral to see a specialist. A PPO, though, gives you more freedom to go out of network, but yeah, you're probably going to pay a bit more for that flexibility. Figuring this out is absolutely key to getting a plan that actually fits your life. And you know what? This right here points to one of the biggest, most common reasons people start looking for a new plan: prescriptions. Your medication needs can change from one year to the next, or your plan might decide to change its own list of covered drugs. They call it the formulary. That's exactly why you've got to give your plan a checkup every single year. It's just so important. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about your first shot at this. Section 2, your first chance to enroll. This is that really special window of time that opens up just for you right when you first become eligible for Medicare. It's called your Initial Enrollment Period, or IEP for short. The best way to think about it is like your personal welcome window to Medicare. It's a one-time thing to get all your ducks in a row. And for most of us, this all kicks off right around that big 65 birthday. So the magic number here is 7. You have a 7-month window. It's not complicated, really. It starts 3 months before your birthday month, you get your actual birthday month, and then it goes for 3 months after. You really don't want to miss this window because it can cause some headaches later on. This is absolutely the time to get it sorted. So during this IEP, you can sign up for Parts A and B, and you can also jump into a Medicare Advantage plan if you want. But check this out. There's a really cool perk here. It's kind of like a trial run. If you pick an Advantage plan and then realize, hey, this isn't what I thought, you get the first 3 months of your coverage to make a change. You can switch to a different Advantage plan or even just go back to Original Medicare. Pretty great, right? Okay, so what happens after that first window slams shut? I mean, what if a year from now, or 2 years from now, your needs are totally different? Well, that brings us to our next section, the Annual Enrollment Period. This is the big one, the one most people know about. Yeah, this is the Annual Open Enrollment Period. And honestly, the best way to think of it is like the yearly shopping season for Medicare. It's that time every fall when absolutely everyone with Medicare can take a look at their plan and decide if they want to make a change for the next year. So get your calendars out because these dates are set in stone. Every year, it's October 15th to December 7th. Whatever you decide to do during that time, your new coverage will kick in on January 1st. Seriously, this is when you have the most power, the most flexibility. The options are basically wide open. You can switch from Original Medicare to an Advantage plan. You can switch from an Advantage plan back to Original Medicare. You can hop from one Advantage plan to another one that fits you better. It's your single best chance all year to get your coverage just right. All right, new section. What if you already have a plan? So let's say it's January, the fall enrollment period is long gone, you're in your new Advantage plan, and you're having second thoughts. You're thinking, uh-oh, I think I messed up. Is it too late? Well, not necessarily. There's actually another chance, but this one's a little different. This one is called the Medicare Advantage Open Enrollment Period. And the most important thing to get here, the absolute P, is that this is only for people who are already in a Medicare Advantage plan. So if you have Original Medicare, you can just kind of tune out for a second because this one isn't for you. So when is it? It's the first 3 months of the year, January 1st all the way through March 31st. Now, your options here are a bit more limited than what you get in the fall. You basically have two choices. You can switch to a different Medicare Advantage plan, or you can drop your Advantage plan altogether and go back to original Medicare. And here's the catch. You only get to make one change during this whole period. So whatever you do, it's a one-and-done deal. You got to make it count. Okay, on to our next section. This is for when life changes happen. So far, everything we've talked about has been tied to the calendar, right? But life is messy. It doesn't follow a neat schedule. And thankfully, Medicare gets that. That's where the wild card comes in, the Special Enrollment Period. A Special Enrollment Period, or SEP for short, is exactly what it sounds like. It's a special chance for you to change your plan because something specific happened in your life. It's what lets you make a move outside of those normal enrollment times we just covered. So what kind of life events are we talking about? Well, the common ones are things like you move to a new town and your plan doesn't work there. Or maybe you lose the health coverage you had from your job. It could even be something like your plan changing its own contract with Medicare. Oh, and here's a cool one. You can get an SEP just for the chance to join a top-rated 5-star plan if one is available where you live. Okay, let's pull this all together. Here are your 4 windows of opportunity. 1. Your initial enrollment, that first shot you get when you turn 65. 2. The annual open enrollment in the fall, that's the big one with the most freedom. 3. The MA open enrollment in the winter, that's your extra chance if you're already in an MA plan. And 4, a special enrollment period, for when life throws you a curveball. Look, here's the bottom line. I know this can all seem a little complicated with all the different dates and rules. But the single most important thing to take away from all this is that you are not permanently locked into your plan. Knowing about these different periods, it gives you the control. It puts you in the driver's seat of your own health coverage. When you have this knowledge, you can be proactive about your health. You now know exactly when you can ask the important questions. Is my doctor still covered? Are my prescriptions? Does this plan still make sense for me? So the real question is, now that you know the rules of the game, what's the first step you're going to take?